Okay, so here we are, week 3 of lockdown gardening. Let's have a look, see how we're doing here, just off the patio. Most things seem to be doing quite well. The olives now really seem to be going ready to flower, I think, just about. So hopefully they won't be too long. And down here the hosta's gone bananas. The hosta can go bananas, I don't know if it can. There you go. And the blueberries are coming along quite well. You see them there. This year there are lots and lots of them this year. So I think we're going to have to get a net to try and cover it up. Don't know if you'll be willing to do that. Right, let's have a look up here. So the hydrangeas at the moment, these ones were bought recently and they've really suffered with the heat. So has everything, to be honest. I mean, that's what's left of the grass. The grass is just absolutely bare. And I've been watering all this new section every other night. It's still not really doing anything. That's the feeding station for the squirrels. Oh, new little adventure now. The badger's decided now that the best thing to do in the garden is dig very big holes. So he seems to come every night and dig big holes. Every day I come along and fill them back in again. But there you go. Orange tree's doing quite well now. Starting to get little white flowers on the top. So there'll be oranges there quite soon. And here, back into the greenhouse. As you can see now, the left hand side is completely covered in tomatoes. I think the last count was about 25 tomato plants. These are just the little ones here. And then that monster which keeps growing all the time. I don't know whether you can see inside, but we are starting to get little cucumbers appearing. Beginnings of cucumber flowers, I guess. So that'll be ready soon, in a few weeks. And the big tomato plants now are starting to get their second, like this one for example. It's got its second set of flowers. There's one set there, another set above it. So that's not going to be long at all. They're getting quite big these days, as are the nasturtiums. They're going quite big. And the new addition this week are the strawberry plants. Not grown those from seed, they were grown. They were bought, but at least they're flowering. Meanwhile, of course, the lettuce forest keeps growing. More and more lettuce wherever you look. And the chilies are coming up quite well now. So they'll be going out next week, I suspect. These 4 here are the beans, which I had to replant new ones because our little friendly squirrels have decided that what they really like most of all is eating bean shoots, which is the reason why when you come up here and look at this area, we've got one little bean plant here, well there should have been 4, and then a little bean plant there, and all the rest is just dust where they've been digging them out. More outdoor tomatoes here. Oh, and some of the, remember last week we were talking about little plants that we bought that were in an envelope. So some of them have kept going, but others, as you can see, they're pretty dead now. They've died. They just can't take the heat, I think. That's the problem. And then meanwhile we've got our first courgettes. The little courgette there, can you see that little yellow courgette? The ants running over it. So that's the first of the courgettes from that one. And then this one, again, you can just maybe see the flowers just starting to appear. So they're coming on quite well. And the tomatoes are in the beds here, which have probably doubled in size since we were last week. So we go back down the steps. Let's have a wander around the rest of the desert that we used to call a garden. Most things are still here, but it's amazing how much of this stuff is drying out. One thing that really likes it is this thing. That's blown over. That should be vertical. You'll see it on the other side. You see that's behind it. It should have been standing up, but it's an absolutely enormous plant. That would have been 10-12 feet high otherwise. And it's got these amazing flowers on it. Huge flowers. And there's thousands of them. Don't know what the hell it is. Its leaves look a bit like rhubarb. Giant hogsweed or something like that. No idea. So the roses are all coming out now. There's lots and lots of them. Most of the things are just going brown and dying out quite quickly. Up at the top, we've still got the apple trees, and I think they're just waiting now really for a bit of rain. I don't think they're growing a great deal. I mean, that's, I don't know, it's a good size I suppose, given that we've not had any rain for about 6 or 7 weeks. They still manage to get some water from something. Don't know what it is. And back at the top of the garden, you can see we've got the dump. Stig of the dump living up here with all the rubbish. We managed to burn a lot of it. Still got some plank. These are the original joists from the house that we renewed. So they'll get burnt at some point, but a lot of the vegetation went, which is good. And come back down this side. See a lot of the plants like this, they're just dying, they're just falling apart due to lack of water. And you can see where it's all been dug over, nothing's growing, absolutely nothing's growing. No weeds, no nothing. Most other things are fading away now. Some, like these, are still quite nice. And I don't know what that is supposed to be. But again, I'd probably do a damn sight better with a bit of water. And at the back here, I think I mentioned this before, I'm sure this is either fox or badger, one of the two in there. See by the amount of mess that they make as they keep digging this out. And then I think they come down this way, given all the rubbish that's down here. And this is up round the back. I've been trying to clean all this out, so I've been in with a strimmer. Don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to clear all this area out. There must be like another 10 metres of garden there that's completely covered. I'm coming back down this side, just past the little pond that's in there somewhere, and then back down towards the front of the garden down that side. It's all very nice down there, but very, very overgrown at the moment. And then around this side, do you remember last week I said there was a yellow rose, as in the yellow rose of Texas? I found them, they're here. Just on the other side of where I was. And beautiful roses everywhere. Well, I'm keen on roses, but there's things like this. There's little pink roses. And then as we come down this side, everything again's taking a big hit. The red hot pockers are just about finished now. They're just about gone. Then another one seems to be doing. There's another little one there. It's doing quite well. Unlike most other things in here, which is grey and just about burnt out now. There's not a lot alive. Get more of these roses. quite nice. Yeah, it's starting to take over a little bit now. And then on the other side, remember we talked about these thistles, or what look like kind of a thistle thing. Well, they've grown quite a bit. They're huge. I mean, just to give you some sort of scale, that's how big these thistles are. Incredibly spiky, and a lot of them. They're everywhere. I mean, look at this one. This one, for example. Ow, very big. Purple. And then we're coming back around to the rest of the garden. Going back down. I'll just stick the camera over the other side just so that you can see the front, which is equally well burnt. It's a swing just underneath the canopy here at the front of the house. You might just be able to see the anti-pigeon devices to try and stop them eating the grass seed, and you can just see the new fence, or the hedge, so to say, the laurels, which I'm about to water tonight. But it's all very, very dry out here as well. Okay, well, let's stop at that then, and I'll see you next week.